Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Southern Food Junkie. Today we're going to be sharing a recipe with you. This is Crock-Pot Chicken Noodle Soup. So we'll show you how it works when we come back. Alright guys, in this recipe here, we're going to use 3 boneless chicken breasts. We're going to use 6 cups of chicken broth, 1 cup of water. We'll use 1 medium onion, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, depending on how much you want. We'll use a couple of sprigs of rosemary, 1 bay leaf. We're going to use some ground thyme, 3 or 4 stalks of celery, depending on how much you want. Usually about a cup. And about the same amount, about a cup and a half of carrots. You'll combine all that into your crock pot. We're using a Ninja cooking system crock pot here. I like this because once it reaches your cooking time, let's say you set it for 3 hours, it automatically switches over to warm for you. They don't keep cooking. And then we're going to finish it off with medium egg noodles. What you'll do is cook it all in the crock pot minus the noodles. Once this is done, then you'll put your noodles on the stove and cook those and then combine it all. Now, a side note, like I said, we're using the chicken broth. Now, I prefer to use split chicken breast with the skin on and the bone in. I would combine all my ingredients in the crock pot. Once the chicken was done, I would pull the chicken out, and I wouldn't put any broth in there. I would just put water in there, probably 7 or 8 cups of water. And that chicken would make its own broth, but since this don't have the skin or the bone on it, it's not going to make a very flavorful broth. So we're going to add our broth in here. I did have some split chicken breast, but I was not able to use it for this recipe. So we're going to get ready to put this in here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our chicken breast in here. And the neat thing about this is you can put it in here while it's frozen. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our chicken broth here. If I can get my fat fingers down in there to get it. We're going to measure out 6 cups. So it'll be three of these right here. I'm actually only going to have enough for 4 cups here, so I'll add an extra cup of water. That's the good thing about cooking. You can always improvise if you need to. We're going to add our other water in. Basically just combine all your ingredients in here. You can put as much of this as you like. If you want to go for 2 cups, and you like a lot of carrots, you could put the whole bag in there. It's not really going to matter. Get us a couple of stalks of celery here. Cut that root off right there. A lot of people throw away these leaves here, but a lot of the flavor's in there. What we'll do is we'll just throw that in there for some flavor, and then we'll get that out of there later. I like to keep those in there. I'm going to trim the ends off since they were already cut, and then we'll go back to cutting this. Keep your fingers out of the way, that's the main thing. You don't want to lose a digit. So we're just going to keep working. Cut our onion up. Peel the onion. Put all that in your crock pot. We're going to go ahead and cut this crock pot on. We're going to put ours on high. If you're leaving this for all day, you're going to want to put it on low for about 8 hours, about 6 hours. And like I said, this crock pot here, once the time is up, it'll switch over to warm. So we're going to be here today, and I don't want it to run that long. So let's pull these. I forgot to pull the pieces off of the stem here. Don't forget to do that. You could just put this in a little, you have some kind of like a cheesecloth, you can wrap this up in there too. Your herbs here. But you don't want them woody stems in there. But I most of the time just cut mine up. I just dice them up like that and eat them. Rosemary gives good flavor to any kind of a chicken dish. Potatoes. It's got a sap kind of like pine trees on it. It's hard to get off. Just chop those up real good. Get your scraper. Put that in there. We'll use some garlic. Always make sure when you're doing this that your blade is away from you. It's this way, and you hit it, you're liable to cut into your hand. So you get the out that up. Some more. Like I said, you can do that as fine as you want. Wish you could smell that right now. Whew. Strong. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper in with this too. I probably won't put much salt in it because that chicken broth, it already has salt. I'll put a little bit in there. The ginger is what really sets this dish off. And all you're going to do is there's a couple different, we're going to take that end piece off, and we're just going to put about 3 or 4 slices of ginger in there. And this is like the bay leaf. You'll want to get that out of there later. This is something really easy you can put together first thing in the morning. You can put this together at night before you go to work. Put the crock pot in the refrigerator. When you get home, it's ready. All you got to do is cook the noodles. We'll measure that out of there. Once all this is done, you can kind of stir it around. You can kind of stir it around. A little bit too much for it. Like I said, you're going to take those celery leaves and you'll take the bay leaf out. And this will make a good soup for you. This is a really good dish if you're sick. Everybody knows chicken noodle soup. Alright guys. This is what we're looking like right here. So we're going to take the chicken out. We're going to shred it. And we're going to put our egg noodles on the stove to cook. And we're going to combine it all and they'll be ready to eat. We'll show you what it looks like when we plate it up. Alright, let's shred this chicken up. You can see how tender this chicken is. I'll check this with a meat thermometer. It's always good to check your meat with a meat thermometer. Make sure it's right. We're just going to mix that back in there. I need my little scraper, but I've already washed it. That works great for this. I hear my water boiling behind me. So we got our water here, and we got it salted a little bit. This is what we mostly use here, Morton sea salt. I like the fine. I don't like the coarse. Now we're just going to dump our egg noodles in there. They don't take long to cook. them a little stir around. Whew. That's the stove popping. We sold our other house, so this is a temporary house we're staying in until we build our new home. So we're kind of in a makeshift house right now. Alright. And then we'll plate it. Alright, so we're going to cook our noodles until they're al dente, which means almost done. We don't want them to be too done. Once we mix them in with the soup, we don't want them to get mushy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drain these. And I should mention, this recipe can take about 4 hours to cook. So what you can do is, about the last, your chicken and your vegetables and all is going to cook about 4 hours in the crock pot. Like I said, once you get home, well, if you're putting it on for when you're leaving, you're gonna put it on low and cook it 6 to 8 hours. So when you get home, you could put it on. All right, so we're gonna add in our noodles now. Got them over here draining. And we're just gonna pour them in there like that. All right, let's plate us a bowl of this right quick. Get some of that juice in there.